Hi, I'm Jocelyn. Welcome to class. Fast, Easy Vegan is making enchiladas today. So the only thing that I've done ahead of time is wrapped our tortillas in some tin foil and put them in the oven. So they're there getting soft for whenever we're ready to roll them up. So this recipe has to do with traditional foods that come from the Americas. And that's what's so one of the many things that's so wonderful about Mexican food. It runs the gamut, first of all, from very mild to very spicy. Like in the Yucatan, for example, they really don't use spicy. They use other spices and herbs for their own unique flavor. So enchiladas, I have no idea what part of Latin America they come from, but boy, are they good. And they're filled with the traditional foods of Latin America, which can be any and all of things like squash, peppers, all sorts of peppers, corn, which is native, potatoes, which are native, tomatoes, which are native, onions, garlic, and all the seasonings that are just so fabulous and spicy. So let's get to work. We've got slicing and dicing to do. Okay, here's our bowl for our garbage, like our onion peel. I just want to make sure that you can, this is how I peel an onion. It's not the official way, but it's a way that is fast and clean. I'm not going to sit around and fuss for an hour with the papery skin of onions, all right? So there's that. And let's trim these up. These are not jalapenos. These are a couple of padron peppers that I pulled off my bush this morning. So pretty exciting. I love it when the garden gives me food. Here's how you take seeds out of peppers. Cut them in half. You got that long membrane going down, and just scrape them out. I don't want the membrane. It's not pleasant. There. Now, padron peppers are like a Catalan favorite, so they're really a Spanish pepper, and generally they're not very hot, though these, for some reason, are very hot, which makes them a perfect candidate for our dish. Look, if you don't like spice, this is not going to be a dish that you love, but the good thing about cooking is, hey, if you don't like spice, you can control it. You can make, if that's your thing, you can make perfectly bland but still delicious enchiladas with the different spices and flavors and vegetables. So, all right, just cleaning these up a bit. Carrot, half a red pepper, and look what I found in my garden today. Cute young little things, because I didn't have any zucchini handy. The zucchini's still growing. It's about 3 inches long today. We're in the middle of a heat wave, so I'm cooking this in the morning, which is really such a cool thing we can do now that so many people are working from home. What I'm going to do now as I babble on is simply dice everything up small and put it in our mixing bowl, okay? So where was I? Oh, yes, so we're in the middle of a heat wave, which is for us like anything over 80 is a heat wave. I live in, at the top of the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, in a town called Vallejo, which is a wonderful little place. Everybody kind of ignores us, and we like it like that. Apropos of nothing, right? Okay, with me, you're not going to get those like chefy, speedy hands of whack, 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 like ninja chopping. No, I don't do that. What I'm trying to do here is get everything diced up pretty much the same size, so it all cooks pretty much the same length of time. The carrot is hard, so that's going to take a little bit more time. Okay? And that's okay. Okay, these are awkward little things to cut because they're so rickety, you know? But I love this squash. It's really sweet. It's a nice counterbalance to the other stuff. Okay, we're throwing them in the bowl. Throwing them in the bowl. Okay, let's do our pepper. We don't want this too tiny. See how I'm holding my knife? Sometimes my hand slips down and I hold it the German way. They do this weird thing of holding it like half on the blade. But, you know, they're German. I've had some delicious, delicious meals in Germany. They do a lot of sauces with like greens like purslane and stuff that isn't common here on our grocery shelves. Okay, half a red bell pepper chopped, in it goes. We're going to slice through these peppers. Sharp knife, tough peppers. Okay, almost done here. Yeah, those will soften when they cook. Okay. And sometimes you want your onion minced really, really tiny. This is not one of those times. You just, you know, we're being utilitarian here. You just want to chop this up and get it in the bowl. And then I can pick up the stuff that's fallen on the floor. If you guys hear a little bit of rhythmic noise in the background, that's my husband in his office on his drum pads. He's a contractor, but he's also a jazz drummer, so we've always got music going. There's always thumping going on with drummers. They never stop. So a good thing I like it. Okay. There's that. I'm going to pick this stuff up. Before I step on it, do a pratfall and make you laugh. Okay. Now, I do want the carrots to be pretty tiny because they're the longest cooking, so let's give them sort of a head start by making that pretty small dice. Okay. just gives such a nice edge of sweetness to it. You can hear that drumming now, I bet. Sometimes I try to chop with the metronome, but that could get dangerous. All right, one more bit here. The small end of the carrots. Carrots are rolly. They can be dangerous if your knife isn't sharp. Always sharpen your knife before you start a new project. You will be glad for it. One thing I learned about really good knives, like this is a chef's knife. It was a gift from my husband one year, and I love it. But the really good knives, you have to sharpen them all the time. So I don't know what's good about them. Honestly, I think the best knife I ever had was from IKEA. I paid $5 for it and it never lost its edge. Okay, so we've got our chopped stuff in here. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Now we're going to put in a can of drained corn, or if you have frozen, about 1.5 cups. We're using a can of petite diced because it's a smaller bite of tomato, and that's what I want with this recipe. Can of black beans, drained. And this is our sauce for the top. It looks a little anemic, frankly. Okay. Now, again, you can put in whatever spices to the degree that you enjoy them. And that is one of the many things that is so great about cooking. Not only are you in control of your health, but you can cook for yourself. It's a wonderfully selfish thing to do. Okay, I use salt, so there it goes in. We're gonna put in also a teaspoon of chipotle if you like the heat. And I do. Unfortunately, so does my husband. The thing about heat, you get used to it. You work your way up to it. So start with a little heat and then just keep getting it hotter and hotter, and before long you're eating spice like a pro. Okay, that was supposed to be about a teaspoon. Didn't quite make it. But we have the rest of the padron peppers in there. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin powder. And that's all you need. All right. Let's get that rolling. Mix that in thoroughly so everybody can talk to each other while we're filling up our tortillas. Oh, that's just beautiful. I can't wait to eat that. All right. Let's get our pan out that we're going to put our tortillas in, or our enchiladas. Usually I like to cook my tortillas just kind of bare on the stovetop. But with this dish, I didn't want them crinkly. Now the first thing we're going to do is, well, I want to mix this sauce up. A lot of cornstarch in this canned sauce. But that's okay, there'd be cornstarch in it if we did it too. The main thing is you want to find one with no oil. You can get green or red enchilada sauce. Read your labels, people. It matters. Even a little bit of oil is not what you want. And sometimes you have to compromise, or you don't have to, but you may choose to. And allow a couple of drops of oil in once in a while. I don't know. It's up to you. Okay. I put a little bit of sauce in the bottom to keep the enchiladas from sticking when they're in the oven. And this is such a great size. This is a 6-inch tortilla, and it's a great size because it makes a good taco. It fits in your hand, and it's versatile. You can do a lot with it. So just a spoonful of filling. The other ingredient that's good to put in that I opted not is refried beans, because they help everything stick together. And this is kind of, okay. I have a feeling we're going to need more tortillas than we've got. Let's use this side. See, none of this is hard. Tortillas are nothing like the work of a, say, tamale, which is tricky. You know, I haven't made tamales since I stopped eating grease, because they're traditionally loaded with lard to get the masa to, you know, stick together. But you don't need it, and one of these days I'm gonna play with that, because tamales are a beautiful thing to eat. Your mouth will thank you. Okay. Whoa, that might be a little much. Now, with all these raw vegetables in here, like carrots and squash and onions that need to cook down until they're soft, you want to cook, you want to cook these for about an hour. And the way we do that to keep it from burning is simply cover it. Cover your dish. If you with either if you have a cover for it, great. If you don't, tin foil. And then when there's leftover this, stew. See how clever you are? Enchiladas one night. You can also freeze it for your next batch of enchiladas, or your next, you know, whenever you're next in the mood for Mexican. For me, I'm pretty much always in the mood for Mexican. I kind of bounce back and forth between Mexican and Chinese. My two favorites. Although Middle Eastern food, oh my goodness me, I love that stuff. Yeah, I just like food. Okay. And the last one. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff left over. But I'm not going to make a bajillion enchiladas. Why? Because I don't have room in my freezer. But if you want to do that, you go for it, because it makes a lot of sense. All right. Now we're ready to sauce it and bake it. Yeah, don't be shy. Okay. That's it. So that didn't take very long. Now, let's see what I can do. If this fits. Hey, look at that. Okay. Cover this little guy. Put it in the oven. I'll see you in an hour. By the way, this dish, and this is what I want to do with you guys in class, is not just make a dish, but also talk about the side dishes. Oh, those peppers made my nose run funny. So, with a main dish, let me pop this into our 350 oven while I'm talking. So, with a main dish, that's going to be like your crowning glory. That's like the reason for the whole meal. So your side dishes around that need to kind of cooperate flavor-wise and with your main dish. So in other words, with enchiladas, excuse me, this is a high spice dish. Lots of flavors, loud, going on, wow. So you want your side dishes not to compete with that. So with a dish like this high flavor, steamed broccoli and salad, really mild, really, that's where your greens are. It complements both nutritionally and with your palate. So in an hour, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna take a look. I'll talk to you then. Hi, it's time to take our enchiladas out of the oven. Let's see what they look like. The unveiling of our dinner. All right. Now, these little half ovens, I love them because they're very conserving of energy. But I always burn my hands on them, so it's a trade-off. Okay, ta-da! Let's see what these look like. Oh, pretty nice. Now, I'm gonna, ooh, this all bubbly. What I'm gonna do, and what I should have done but didn't think of it, is slice up a green onion, scatter it over the top. Some kind of salsa also, even though this has enchilada sauce, you can put like scatter, here, I'll show you, just like this. There, so pretty, right? Just kind of a little teaser of what's to come. Great. Now if you have it, you can put little bits of avocado, green onion, minced up jalapeno, whatever you like, or you know, just leave it as it is. So this is ready to plate. Steam some broccoli with it. Make a beautiful green salad, and enjoy your hard work. That wasn't really that hard. I'll see you the next time.